We allowed Juventus to come back at our home ground. We won 4-2 up. This is just a simple reaction to the Inter-Juventus, the Derby d'Italia that happened today on October 27th of 2024. I just couldn't go to bed before recording this video because there are a lot of things that I want to get out of my chest, to be honest. We as Interista have dreamt of the time that we come back again as favorites to win the title, as favorites in every single game against Juventus. And here was the chance today to put a distance between us and them, catch up to Conte's Napoli, who I don't think will continue. But every time we drop points, we actually give them a chance. But the team won the league last season. And I think the team is playing like they're the best team in the world. Complacent. They're playing like they own the league. They play like some of the games are already won, and we have seen it this season. And some of these players need to be called out. How are you allowing Juventus to come to your ground and score 4 goals? How do you allow a player like Yildaz to score 2 at your home ground at 19 years old, coming to the San Siro against the Pavards, the Bastonis, the De Vries, the Barellas, and score 2 goals? You freaking bozos of players. You absolute garbage of players. And I'm not going to forget about Inzaghi as well. What a shit game plan. Wide open at 4-2. Can't stamp his authority on the game. Some of the players didn't even press, didn't play good. Stayed on the pitch. Horrific subs. Garbage changes in the game. Didn't understand some of the players that stayed on and didn't understand some of the players that were subbed off. 4-4, you bozos. 4-4, you absolute clowns of players. This is our chance to retain the league, you fraud, you bozos. And you can't hold your nerves. You were gifted a penalty after a penalty in this game. And you can't hold your nerves against a young Juventus, an inexperienced Juventus, with a way less experienced manager in Thiago Motta, and we cannot hold our nerves. A calamity of a football match, if you ask me, to be honest. What a horrific way to end the game after being 4-2 up. The worst player on the pitch is the fraud himself. El Capitano, that every single fan of the Inter community told me and fought me and told me this guy can be one of the best forwards in the world. The guy that is chubby. The guy that can dribble. The guy that is slow. The guy that can turn a defender. The guy that flops when he loses the freaking ball. El Bozo Lautaro. El Bozo Martinez. El Bozo Martinez. You are the captain of the Inter, you fraud. You play for the badge, not for yourself, you fraud. You played 90. Shame on the coach that left you on the pitch for the 90 minutes and subbed Marcus Thuram, who was working his ass off. I believe the fraud, El Bozo Martinez, completed 8 passes in 90 minutes. 8. at the San Siro. 8 passes in a 2-striker formation. In the 3-5-2 we play. 8 passes. But I'm supposed to sit here because he scores against Salernitana and some shit defenses and get me a goal every now and then. When the big games I need you, you fraud, you disappeared. I can't hold the attack. But he was shit. Leadership, non-existent. Football, non-existent from him. But also we have to call out the other guys. The Bastonis, the De Vrij, Jan Sommer today. Not great. Not great. A calamity of a performance. Henrik Mkhitaryan scored a goal, was all right on the pitch. Of course, he was dribbled and taken to the cleaners by Conceição, but that's not his job. Henrik Mkhitaryan should not have been there. It was supposed to be a Bastoni or a Di Marco. And Henrik Mkhitaryan did the extra mile. I will credit the player when he deserves credit. Henrik Mkhitaryan is one of the only people today that gets saved from criticism. Zielinski played all right, scored his 2 penalties, didn't look bad at all. Barella, non-existent, running like a headless chicken on the pitch today. Had a couple of good passes, but that's about it. Alessandro Bastoni. Sometimes I feel like Alessandro Bastoni still plays like a 22 years old. But he isn't a 22 years old, is he? Make sure to like the video first. Like the video, subscribe, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Plays like a 22 years old. Denzel Dumfries scuffed 1, scored 1. Average performance, good performance if you ask me. Denzel Dumfries, good performance, not bad. And I can't fault him today. He was okay. He was not that bad at all. Even though the Yildaz goals come from our right side. But we are losing the league. Step by step. I still believe that we will win the league. The problem is, I believe that we have the best team. I believe that we have the best coach in the league. The problem is, we can't keep dropping points. We are 4 points behind Napoli and Antonio Conte. Fix up, you bozos, you frauds. Fuck the Champions League. We are the 5th or the 6th favorites to win the Champions League. 4th, 5th. We are the favorites by miles to win the league. Fix up. Fix up. I can't be watching my team play like this today. A horrific performance. You scored 4 goals. 2 of them are gifts. Penalties are gifts, by the way. They aren't well played plays that resulted in penalties. Be honest. 2 gifts from Juventus. We're absolutely, today, we got cooked. A horrific performance, some of the players, to be honest. Fix up, you frauds. Fix up.